Finally, no fog, no inversion, at least for a while. Rain and snow. Another storm moving through. We'll talk forecast coming up.
A man found dead near an LDS church this weekend in West Valley City. What we're learning about the investigation tonight.
Waking up to flames and smoke, I'm Erin Cox, and I'll give you a look at the damage done in a late-night fire.
And right place, right time, possibly saving a baby's life.
I was going to go head first into the concrete.
Tonight, see the rest of this video and hear from the man who had just seconds to react. First on Fox 13, our first alert weather team is tracking the snow that's starting to move into northern Utah.
And you may want to give yourself some extra time on your morning commute. Let's get right to Doug Iverson with what we can expect and where we can expect it. Doug?
You know, we're going to see kind of a dicey commute tomorrow morning for a few spots. The storm has thinned out a little bit, but what we're looking at is another push of cooler air from the northwest. So we're not entirely done, although it has dried off a little bit in some spots. The winter weather advisory still continues for the mountains of northern Utah, central mountains. They just canceled the winter weather advisory for the mountains of southwestern Utah. So good news for that neck of the woods. And look at radar one more time here. We'll zoom in right over northern Utah. The only real precipitation we're seeing in the valley, and you have to squint real hard, is a little isolated rain just on the South Valley, but still snowing pretty good in the mountains towards the south over the Oquirrh. We're still looking at snow along the Wasatch Mountains, so again, not completely done. And we're watching some cooler air. Things are starting to change in the atmosphere, so some cooler air could rain out some rain overnight for the Wasatch Front. So there's a potential more wet weather, and there's also potential overnight early morning of that rain to turn to snow. And if that happens, the commute tomorrow morning will be a little bit on the dicey side. I don't think it'll be quite as widespread as far as the snowfall is concerned compared to what we had this morning, but in some areas it may slow you down a little bit. We're looking at things clearing up nicely for southern Utah. We got a mostly clear sky at 3 o'clock in the morning. We'll have your work week forecast with that 7-day coming up.
Thank you, Doug. Take a close look at this close call in the snow. Utah Avalanche Center in Logan says 2 riders had to be rescued after being caught in an avalanche. This was yesterday, just north of the Idaho state line. One rider was partially buried in that snow, while the other rider ended up on top of the snow after their airbag deployed. Utah Avalanche Center says to be careful on upper elevation slopes because the ongoing storm will create areas of considerable danger.
And the weather impacting southern Utah too. Today, Zion National Park closed the Narrows and all slot canyons for several hours. This all due to a flash flood warning from the National Weather Service. The flow of the North Fork of the Virgin River exceeded safe conditions, but the water has since lowered to safer levels and all those closures have been lifted.
And with more snow hitting some valley locations in northern Utah overnight, that could impact your morning commute.
Yeah, this afternoon, some drivers in the canyon got a taste of those slick roads. Fox 13's Katia Collins gives us a look at their struggles and the warning that UDOT has for drivers tomorrow.
There's a mix of rain and snow coming down on the roads, but that is going to pick up in just a few hours here in the valley. Something those driving in the canyons experience all day. I even spoke with one skier who had to ditch his car.
I just hung out and put my thumb out there and got picked up, but it's not really in my everyday plans.
But because of this, Jared did what he had to do to get up to that powder.
I would have preferred to drive up the mountain.
Other drivers came prepared, knowing that with more than a foot of snow, there would be restrictions.
And I bought a 4-wheel drive car with mud and snow tires just so that we'd be able to get up the canyons.
But some drivers thought they could get up without four-wheel drive or chains.
We did see some people actually in the parking lot up at Solitude that were kind of in snowbanks or just needing to be towed out. So, and that was a pretty flat area, so I'm a little bit worried about them coming down.
UPD saw more than 20 slide-offs in Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons alone. And UDOT is warning drivers that could be your fate during the Monday morning commute.
Overnight, we're expecting to see spotty showers all across the valley here, and so there could be some concerns with slushy driving conditions.
UDOT, of course, encourages you to carpool or stay home on snowy days. But one thing is for sure, they don't recommend hitchhiking your way to work.
I normally park down here and hitchhike. It takes me normally no more than 2 minutes to get picked up. So it's not the worst thing. Also, recommend carpooling anyways.
And maybe some will have the powder flu and head up to the canyons. But if you are in the valley on the roads, UDOT is warning people to give yourself an extra 30 minutes when you head out the door to get to where you're going. On I-80 in Salt Lake City, Katya Collins, Fox 13 News, Utah.
We'll continue to follow this winter weather tomorrow morning right here on Good Day Utah. Don't forget, you can always check on the latest road conditions on the free Fox 13 News app.
And in other news tonight, police in West Valley City are looking for a suspected killer. Investigators found a man dead in the passenger seat of a pickup truck yesterday morning in the parking lot of an LDS church at 28th South and 28th West. We now know that man was 31-year-old Jesus Vasquez.
Where we go from here is we start to figure out where he's been for the last few days, who he's made contact with, friends, family, things like that. Work backwards in time, right? So it's a big process and it's a priority.
Here is a look at the vehicle Vasquez was found in. It's a maroon Nissan Frontier with 4 doors. Police believe the suspect may have driven the vehicle to the church and left Vasquez's body behind. If you know anything about this crime, call West Valley City Police.
Happening now in Sanpete County, a man accused of striking a 9-year-old boy with a stray bullet while target shooting is facing felony charges. Investigators say 2 weeks ago, Cameron Summerhays and his son were shooting targets toward US 89 without any barrier to stop the bullets. One of those bullets ended up hitting a 9-year-old boy in the shoulder while in a car with his mom, sending him to the hospital. The boy is recovering from his injuries. If you know where Summerhays is, you're asked to call the Sanpete County Sheriff's Office. A dangerous overnight fire putting 2 people in the hospital, leaving more looking for a new place to stay.
That fire started overnight at a mobile home park on 200 North and Harrisville Road in Ogden. And tonight, a woman is fighting for her life in the hospital after waking up to her trailer just engulfed in smoke and flames.
Fox 13's Aaron Cox spoke with neighbors and friends and gives us a look at the damage.
She woke up to the home engulfed.
A trailer home once surrounded in fire now sits as a charred reminder of what Jill Hunter's friends were living in.
As of right now, it looks like a total loss.
Hunter says her friend of over 20 years, Mary, and her husband Mike ran from the house as the flames moved to the units 16 and 18 next door. You can see the small gap between each trailer and where the flames tore up the siding.
They're a part of our community. We have a lot of support that is going to be needed for the family.
Hunter says after the fire first started, both Mike and Mary were rushed to the hospital. After surveying the damage, Hunter says she's on her way to the University of Utah's burn unit to visit Mary.
She's incubated.
Okay.
So that she's on life support.
Unlike the trailer home, burned inside and out. Hunter says Mary does not have burns on the outside of her body. It's all on the inside and in her lungs.
She is now fighting for her life due to the chemical inhalation. Prayers are with her, and I know that she's being watched over by her angels.
Friends say Mike has since been released from the hospital. As far as the cause of the fire, it is still under investigation. In Ogden, Aaron Cox, Fox 13 News, Utah.
In Garfield County, search and rescue crews found someone's body along Egypt Road in Escalante. The person's body has been taken to the medical examiner's office. The victim's identity or gender has not been released at this point, but we will keep you updated on this story as we get more information. Tonight, we're hearing from the pawn shop manager who saved a baby from what could have been a devastating tumble.
As you can see, the incident was all caught on camera. Fox 13's John Franke is in the newsroom with the message this hero wants all parents to hear.
Bill Reel was in the right place at the right time. As a father of 4 kids himself, he knows they always need a watchful eye looking out for them.
I was going to go head first into the concrete.
This is a surveillance video from Family Pawn in Hurricane. You can see 2 women in the store shopping for a gun. They place a child on the counter. That's when things go wrong.
I saw the baby just bob just enough to show me that it was barely holding itself up, and I just ran towards it.
That is Bill Reel, the store's manager.
I reacted probably within like 1/8 of a second.
Bill is the man in the video who notices the unstable baby. The father of 4 swoops in to save the day.
4-foot fall going head first into the concrete. There is no doubt that would have been at least a serious injury if if not some brain injury as well.
Instead, the customers bought the gun. The baby was not injured, and this story has a happy ending.
I held the baby for a second or two and just kind of collected my own thoughts and realized like we avoided disaster there.
But this story is also a reminder that bad things can happen when you take your eyes off your kids.
I certainly think life is precious, and being a parent is hard enough. But I would just suggest to parents, just be careful.
So some good advice there. Bill says the adults with the child were embarrassed, but thankfully a bruised ego is the worst wound to come from all of this. In the newsroom, John Franke, Fox 13 News, Utah.
If there's a moment of panic for some reason, we have something that can help.
Do you think you can land an airplane in an emergency situation? Just ahead, we'll show you how people in our area are working to develop technology to avoid that scary situation.
And a legendary figure with Sesame Street has passed away. We'll tell you about the local connection the man behind Big Bird has to Salt Lake City.
I'm already dressed the part. There's a grand opening of a Macy's down south somewhere. Where? Tune in Monday, find out. We're going to have some fun.
I'm going to leave $1 million under somebody's tree. Frosty the no, man.
The Arby's French dip sandwich is like dipping beef into more beef. 2 for $6? Listen up, carnivores. We are peaking. Arby's, we have the meat.
Honey, we're gonna be late.
I approacheth, my queen.
You are not wearing that to the tailgate.
Feel like a king every time you shop for or service a vehicle at Larry H. Miller Ford Draper, the Ford King. This month during the Built for the Holidays sales event, new F-150s are 0% for 72 months. At Larry H. Miller Ford Draper, online at lhmforddraper.com.
Oh, I should have listened to my mother.
Celebrate at Sizzler. For a limited time only, come in for our steak and lobster starting at just $13.99. Our hand-cut 6-ounce steak is perfectly seasoned and flame-grilled, then paired with a juicy 3-ounce lobster tail for only $13.99. Sizzler, so good, you'll crave an encore.
Celebrate clearance pricing and the Happy Honda Day sales event with your Utah Honda dealers. It's your last chance of the year to get clearance pricing on the entire Honda lineup. See all the clearance offers at UtahHondaDealers.com.
2 classic Arby's sandwiches for $6. One, a French dip sandwich with a side of au jus. The other, au jus with a side of French dip sandwich. Don't overthink it. Arby's, we have the meat.
Tony Goldwyn and holiday entertaining tips.
I find you entertaining.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah.
Next live.
Monday at 10 a.m. on Fox 13.
Live from Fox 13 Studios, this is Fox 13 News at 9.
The puppeteer behind Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch for nearly 50 years on Sesame Street died at his home in Connecticut today. Carol Spinney was discovered by Jim Henson in Salt Lake City back in the 1960s. Spinney voiced and operated Big Bird and Oscar into his 80s on Sesame Street. The Sesame Workshop said in a statement the legendary puppeteer lived for some time with dystonia, which causes involuntary muscle contractions. Carol Spinney was 85 years old.
Well, this would be a scary situation, but if your pilot passes out on a plane, graduates from the Utah State University are working on something to get passengers safely on the ground. It's an auto-land feature, and it's a system that does just that, automatically lands the plane in an emergency. Aviation Program Manager Bailey Shields says the auto-land system has to route around weather, terrain, and obstacles, and then it has to tell all the passengers what's going on, talks to air traffic control, and makes sure other pilots in that area are aware of what's going on, all before the aircraft goes to the airport and lands.
We had to test it extensively for all types of situations which a pilot might encounter, and so that led to several hundreds of landings. You know, this really gives an opportunity for people to feel maybe more comfortable in the airplane, especially your passengers or your family.
Well, for now, Autoland is only available for a select number of planes, but as time goes on, Shield and Sargent say they hope to add the tech, bigger planes, like commercial jets that you're likely used to flying in. Okay, I love this one. Voters have spoken, and the Salt Lake County Animal Services has their next political mayor.
His name is Dexter the Beagle, and he'll be sworn in by Sherry Swenson, the Salt Lake County clerk, at the next Salt Lake County Council meeting. Dexter and the Political Council will serve a 2-year term of office, but represent Salt Lake County Animal Services at events across the county. The Political Pets campaign raised over $20,000 for Salt Lake County Animal Services.
Political story we can all agree on.
That's
is
right.
Great. Maybe the only one.
Yep, exactly. Hey, what do you guys say over there? Did you like the snow this morning?
And we're breathing a little bit easier.
Yeah, yeah.
Things have changed over the last couple of days,
Yeah,
since the last couple
it
of days.
really has.
Yeah.
You can actually see now. Yeah.
Which is a plus, right? I'll take the snow if it means I can breathe.
You breathe and see, you know where you're going. Of course, this morning was a little crazy with that snow out there, and we did pick up some snowfall. Latest snow tally. Let's take a look at the numbers. Alta, 9 inches since last report. Yeah, this is the latest report we got from them. Snowbird at about 8 inches. Snow Basin picked up 5. Brighton 4. Cherry Peak 3. I'm sure these numbers will be updated overnight into tomorrow morning. So Damon Yanni will have the latest snow tally for you. It gives you an idea what the mountains have picked up. In Taylorsville, they were in the bullseye. In the Salt Lake Valley, they picked up 2.5 inches. Generally, the rest of us an inch or less. So it was enough, though, this morning to kind of, wake up. It's still winter, and yeah, it's going to slow you down, and that it did. A little hair raising in some spots this morning. A few accidents out there as well. Winter weather advisory continues for the mountains of northern Utah and the high country, the central portion of the state. The National Weather Service just canceled the winter weather advisory for the mountains of southwestern Utah. Basically, additional mountain snowfall 1 to 3 inches. So we're kind of on the tail end of this storm system. There's some cooler air trying to filter down from Idaho. That cooler air could work with the Great Salt Lake. A little bit of a lake effect could occur late tonight into early morning. And that's why there's the potential of seeing some rain and then snow overnight, early morning for the Wasatch Front. The showers will be kind of hit and miss if they do happen. And if they do, some areas will be a little dicey as far as the morning commute. So be forewarned. Just wake up a little extra early, see what the weather's like, watch Good Day to Utah, and we'll keep you posted on any changes out there early morning. 35 right now in Ogden, near 40 in Salt Lake City. Current temperature is not too bad for this late at night, considering yesterday we were struggling just to get above freeze, and we finally did. But yeah, today a little bit warmer than yesterday. St. George right now at 46. So your forecast tonight, we will drop down to the freezing mark in the Salt Lake City area. So the rain could turn to snow late tonight, and that could linger into early morning, and that may cause some problems on your way to work or school. So just bear that in mind. Again, just be forewarned. Better to be on the safe side as you get out the door. 28 for a low in Ogden, Logan at 27, Evanston at 21. They were clearing off towards the west overnight, over in Nevada and southwestern Utah. Not bad, not bad. It's kind of nice to wind things down. And we start the work week off with some good air quality. That'll be wonderful. Chance of snow in the morning in the Wasatch Front. Otherwise, we've got clouds and sunshine. Evanston, 29 degrees, a little colder than the rest of us. They'll be as cold as Park City at 29 for an afternoon high. Certainly some snow over the Park City area in the morning with temperatures about 39 for Provo. Southern Utah for the next 7 days, highs in the 50s. We got the dry weather kicking in tomorrow. And we got a lot of sunshine to enjoy this week. In fact, going into the next weekend, not looking too bad. It will be a little bit cooler on Sunday. Lows at night, above freezing for the most part, except for tomorrow night, Tuesday morning, will drop down to about 31. Northern Utah, rain and snow possible overnight, and it's possible that snow could linger into tomorrow morning. So, yeah, just be prepared. It could slow you down, and then we get some sunshine in the afternoon, and then more sunshine on Tuesday. Now, the inversion, it will try to come back a little bit Tuesday and Wednesday, but not nearly the strength we just had. I mean, we don't want to be known for the worst air quality in the country, right?
No, not a title we want.
No, we don't need that title
At
again.
least not consecutive weeks, right?
Exactly.
I know. If we could space it out over the next couple of months. Maybe
or a couple of years.
Yes, that would make things a little bit more manageable. Some pretty chilly overnight temperatures.
Yeah,
we're getting slick spots and stuff.
some slick spots in the morning because the streets out there are pretty wet right now. Of course, a lot of them have been treated, but just keep your eyes on the road. Give yourself a little extra time.
Put your phone down and pay attention.
Yeah.
That's right.
But come midweek, it's going to be tough for anyone who wants to go snowboard or escape to southern Utah to hike.
Yeah.
Because midweek will be good for those outdoor enthusiasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, a local jazz legend passes away at 100 years old. Fox 13's Todd Tanner shows us how the impact of Joe McQueen's life goes beyond music.
And making dreams come true, we'll show you how a southern Utah girl got her wish fulfilled. Next.
I've got a gift for you, and don't worry, it's not fruitcake. I'm talking about the amazing deals at RC Willey's Wrap Up Your Holiday sale.
Enjoy holiday savings on dozens of gifts your family will enjoy all year. This sectional is $13.99, and this one is $14.99. This power reclining sectional is $26.99, and this one is $30.99. Items are in stock for immediate delivery. Plus, this Bluetooth stereo is just $25 with purchase. Gift cards are available too. Wrap up your holidays at RC Willey.
Merry Christmas, baby. Sure did treat me nice. Woo! Merry Christmas, baby. You sure did treat me nice. Give me a diamond ring for Christmas. Now I'm living in paradise. Well, I'm feeling mighty fine. Got good music on my radio. Woo! I'm feeling mighty fine.
Watching a snowboarding bulldog is better than your typical car commercial. And so is finding a dealership that really listens. Hey, we hear you.
Try something new this holiday season. Come into Arctic Circle today for a peppermint bark Oreo shake or sundae made with real Oreo cookies. But hurry, they're only here for a limited time. Arctic Circle, where the good stuff is.
When a trucking company puts unsafe drivers on the road and it results in a crash, we'll fight to hold the company responsible. Why? Because at Feller & Went, we right wrongs. We're experienced trial lawyers that won't be outworked. Our results prove it. Call us or visit FellerWent.com. We'll answer your questions for free. In fact, you never pay. Those responsible will. If you need to hold a trucking company accountable, call Feller & Went. Our family, protecting yours.
Wireless network claims are so confusing. America's best network. The best network is even better. The best deals on the best network. How can everyone be the best? Well, Sprint's doing things differently. They're offering a 100% total satisfaction guarantee. While I think their network and savings are great, you don't just have to take my word for it. Try it out. Decide for yourself. Hurry in for exciting holiday deals and save your family money. Get both an unlimited plan and one of the newest phones included for just $35 a month.
You're watching Fox 13 News. Let's connect.
Utah lost a legendary musician yesterday. Jazz saxophonist Joe McQueen died at age 100.
Fox 13's Todd Tanner interviewed Joe several times over the years, and we're going to show you a look back at an interview from 2017, which explains why Joe's legacy is about more than just music.
I never imagined nothing like this.
The face of jazz musician Joe McQueen, in 5 different poses, now graces the side of a building near 27th and Washington in Ogden, courtesy of a nonprofit called Nurture the Creative Mind.
Joe McQueen brought legendary jazz music and the spirit of equal rights to the community of Ogden.
At 97, Joe still does not miss a beat when he's on stage. And when he was told about the mural being created by artist Brent Atwood, he didn't miss a beat, insisting someone else be on it with him.
If she weren't on that mural, I didn't want to put it up there.
She was Annabelle Weekly Matson, and she played an important role in ending racial segregation in Ogden in the years following World War II.
It was just like down south, more or less, when I first came here.
Black musicians could perform in white clubs, but not enter as customers. Annabelle operated the only all-black nightclub on 25th Street, Porters and Waiters, which catered to railroad employees, until she decided music and fun didn't have a color and gave Joe a key to her club, encouraging him to open the doors to mixed crowds.
That just gave me the leeway to put my foot down and says I'm not going to play in those places that won't let my people go in there. So that's what did it.
Joe still has that key.
I've kept it. I took good care of it, you know.
Now it unlocks memories.
I think Annabelle was as good a person as I've ever met. And I'm sorry she's not here.
She died in 2008, and her club is long gone, but now Annabelle and Joe will watch over Ogden together for years to come.
She was one of my very best friends.
Todd Tanner, Fox 13 News, Utah.
A southern Utah girl had an unforgettable experience this week.
The La Verkin Police Department welcomed her as one of their own. Fox 13's Kelly Chapman shows us all the steps she took to take to earn her badge.
Many of us have wondered what it would be like to be a police officer. 3-year-old Marley Bergen got to live it.
She's been telling people, I'm going to give you a ticket. I won't give you a ticket because I love you, and things like that.
I was talking to her dad, and he told me that Marley has cancer. And it just broke my heart.
Marley is battling stage 4 neuroblastoma.
When you're going through this battle with your child having cancer, sometimes you just feel so alone because not many people have gone through this battle.
Marley wants to be a police officer and had the entire community by her side.
The community is there for her, that we have her back, and that as she fights this fight, that we're with her all the way.
She was sworn in as the newest junior officer with the La Verkin Police Department.
There's your flashlight.
The same flashlight.
Yep, they're both.
One is big, one is small.
And got to experience several officer duties. She even got to go to a gun range and practice with her Nerf gun.
Give him the whole thing.
And gave some treats away at the animal shelter. An account is set up at Mountain America Credit Union under the name Marley Bergen to help her family cover treatment costs and expenses as they travel back and forth to Primary Children's Hospital.
And if you need anything at all, give us a call.
Thank you.
Bye.
Kelly Chapman, Fox 13 News, Utah.
The theater itself represents a significant liability, and
Coming up in our next half hour, it's been around for a century, but it will soon be torn down. We talk with those who are for and against saving the Utah Theater.
Honestly, my goal was just to make finals, and then to come home with a medal was insane.
Some local gymnasts back at Utah with some fresh hardware and national pride. We catch up with members of Team USA back from the World Championships in Tokyo.
There's no stopping it, and that is something that's overwhelmingly beautiful.
And ahead of the Tabernacle Choir's Christmas concerts coming up this week, actress and singer Kristen Chenoweth talks one-on-one with Bob Evans. That's on 3 Questions.